It is time for another Gaming Memories, and let's get into a classic fighting game. To my right here, you can see it, Street Fighter 2 on the arcades, and better yet, my gaming memories, especially on the Super Nintendo. Let's get into it. Guys, myself, DJ Thicky, what are we talking about here? Mid-90s, when this got ported over to the Super Nintendo. Well, neither of us had or owned a Super Nintendo at the time, so we had to, you know, please Mum, please can you hire me a Super Nintendo from the video store? And we would do that. We would beg our mums to hire it out, and they would hire out the Super Nintendo plus Street Fighter 2. And it usually was the Turbo Edition, I reckon. It usually was the Turbo Edition. And I remember it came with one of those second grade controllers. I think it was called the Honeybee controller. And it had like the turbo button switches on there, which was rigged. We never used to use turbos, but I'll tell you what, the D-pad, I always remember the D-pad on it was really sharp. It wasn't as smooth as like the Super Nintendo original D-pad. It was sharp, and it would cause so many blisters on our thumbs, man, from doing the Hadoukens, the back forwards. Our thumbs was blistered and was almost cutting up, man. We were bleeding on the controller, especially from that Honeybee one. Fond memories, massive sleepovers with DJ Thicky at his house from hiring these from all day Saturday into Sunday, waking up Sunday morning just so he could watch It's a Knockout and then play Street Fighter 2.
In the distance you can hear the sound of a cheer and the laugh and the roar of a crowd.
And you can feel the expectation and the wild jubilation as they're shouting the winners' names aloud.
'Cause it's the greatest game in town.
And it's the craziest fun around. It's a knockout, that's the name. It's a knockout, that's the game. It's a knockout, that's the name of the game.
Those were the memories, man. I always remember sitting in his lounge room, and the day or the moment that we mastered holding back for 2 seconds and forward and like a punch or a kick, whatever it was like the Guile's Sonic Boom or a charge from Blanca. The first time we did that, it's still stuck in our, I think in DJs as well, in my memories, that when we first pulled it off, holding back for 2 seconds and forward, was like, holy shit, we did it. I finally did it. The charge attack. It was a great feeling, and the holding down for 2 seconds and up like a flash kick. As a kid, mastering that was one of the challenges, and to finally get it done and to repeat doing it was pretty special. And for some reason, it's stuck in our memories whenever we talk about Street Fighter. Awesome game, and I loved even growing up in the teens and seeing at the arcades at like a fish and chip store, or I always remember a fish and chip store at the local Heathridge, the place where we used to live, and I used to go in there all the time, chuck like 20 cents in there and just play while they're cooking the fish and chips, and that was a really cool memory. Also remember picking a character which really wasn't used that often, and that was Balrog. Big boxing Mike Tyson Balrog. I felt no one really used him at all. It was always a similar characters. And so I thought, I'm gonna try and master this guy. And I ended up getting really good at Balrog. Like, he was really underestimated. So when I would choose Balrog and the opposition guy would see me choose him, they'd be like, oh, Balrog, shit, this should be an easy game. But I mastered him, man. Like, he's got a long reach, really underrated long reach, and he's very, very powerful. And I feel like he's got a quick charge to the punch. Anyone that jumps at him, you can quickly do an uppercut and it stops any kick. It was a really underrated character, and he's powerful. So yeah, I just ended up mastering him, and it felt pretty good, to be honest. It felt really good because every time I would surprise someone by using Balrog, and they would sort of chuckle, "Oh, what the fuck are you using Balrog? That's just stupid." But that's a great memory I've got of Street Fighter 2. Even characters like Zangief, what a challenge it was to go as Zangief. He has to be, I guess, the worst character in the whole game, right? But you'd sort of, if you're up against a Zangief, you would sort of sweat a little bit because you're like, oh shit, I don't want to lose to Zangief because that's the biggest disappointment ever, like the biggest in your face, if you will, if you lose to a Zangief. Even mastering his massive suplex that he jumps up in the air and pile drives him into the ground, like that was a cool thing to do, but quite tricky to do as well. But Ryu versus Ken, classic battles, man, classic battles. Always have a good time playing Street Fighter 2. I don't think it ever gets old. It never gets old. You can sit there for ages. Everyone knows how to play it, kind of, if you're my age. But love firing this one up. Me and DJ have some great battles. And like I said, most people love to play some Street Fighter, man. Whether it's a button mash or if it's a skillful match, it's always really good. It's like a chess game, just like the Mortal Kombats. Love me some Street Fighter. Guys, tell me some of your memories. Would love to hear from them. Until next time, Doggo's gaming memories. I'll keep going. Brings them back. Peace out.